Okay, the weather is very nice today. It's not very warm, and to be fair, it is the end of the day. But it has been quite hot during the day. It could easily reach 45 degrees. And today, as I had said, I'm walking or starting the walk from Jumeirah 1. It's a beachfront town or a neighborhood in Dubai. It's one of the oldest, and it's very modern now. You see this building is new and compound to my left is new, and a lot of the villas have been upgraded, right? So the neighborhood has become now one of the most popular and most sought after neighborhood because of how central it is, and it still remains original. Majority of the neighborhood is still townhouses and villas, and the neighborhood is for those who want to be in the center and not just want to be, but are willing to pay and stay. Now, this reminds me of one of my landlords who said something along the lines of, I want someone who's capable to pay and stay in my property. Now, I know this neighborhood because I spent some time here in my early teens, and also when I started working in real estate, which is about 13 years ago now. I started from Jumeirah Sakim, which is the same strip, the same district. So I started from here. As I was saying, some villas are still old, as you see these ones, and then the one towards the left is upgraded, and then these ones are all new. So I started from this area, and a lot has changed now, but what we used to do was we would go from one compound to the other and try to find out who the landlord is. And since this is one of the older areas, almost every compound was managed by a company or had a caretaker on site. So we would try to locate the room of the watchman or the caretaker and try to find out how we can reach the landlord or his office or the property management company. So this is what we would do. Then once we have found the landlord, we'll try to call, find out if, or let him know that we've found out that there's a property becoming available in the compound, and I work in real estate and we could potentially help you find a tenant. And majority of the times it would be the case that we already had active inquiries and people were looking for properties, so we wouldn't be lying. But our end goal always was to advertise the property, because that would mean we would keep the inquiries flowing in, and we would be receiving more inquiries so we can reach more landlords and let them know that we are active in the area, we have inquiries, and if we can get on their list and if they can provide us the NOC, which is required. So originally when I first started in about 2014, I think 2013, 2014, it wasn't a requirement, but then I must have been, I think, 2-3 years in, it became a requirement that you must have an agreement or a no objection from the landlord. Because what was happening was the agents would advertise properties that were not available, and sometimes advertise properties without the knowledge of the landlord or permission of the landlord, and advertise them at rates that were not approved. And at times they would be advertised at the lower rates than the landlord would accept, just so they can get inquiries, right? It is windy, so I'm not sure if the audio is going to be affected, but as you can see, it's a very calm and beautiful neighborhood. It's full of expats. You have locals, of course, and Dubai is very international, so you'll find people from almost every nationality. But generally, this is valued by people who like to be close to the beach, and majority of the times they happen to be Europeans. But it's not only Europeans, of course. So when I first started, villas or townhouses like these on the right or left, they would go for somewhere around 160 to 200,000 a year, and the rates have now almost doubled. And if you had a villa that was more modern, it could easily reach $1 million in this area. You see, very calm and beautiful neighborhood. It brings back a lot of memories. And now I'm walking and I have the camera with me, but I used to go for walks in this neighborhood anyway, because I really loved walking here, and it was my dream to one day have a single-story house in this area, and I'm still working on it. Let's see where the master plan takes us. But as you can see, it's very calm. It's not crowded at all, and it is Sunday today, so maybe that's the reason that it's not very crowded. People are not moving around a lot. Since I've started walking, not a lot of cars have passed me. Only a few that you would have noticed already. So a villa like this could easily, so you see, you have some independent villas, right? We used to call them standalone independent villas, and then you have townhouses, and this street is full of independent villas. So usually how it works is that if a landlord wants to build townhouses on a plot that is for a single villa, he has to kind of build a case and show to Dubai municipality that there are other townhouses on the same street. And if there are no other townhouses, then they're not allowed to build townhouses on there, just to keep that street and all the landlords on it happy, which I think is fair. Because if I owned a villa on a street and there were only single family homes, I wouldn't want someone to just drop many townhouses on the street and ruin the whole vibe of the street. So I think that's a good decision made by Dubai municipality, and I don't think it's a rule, or I think it's not a written rule, and normally you're not allowed to build townhouses if your plot has a permit for a single villa only, but you can build a case to change the permit if someone else has done it on the same street. So that's how it goes. Right in front of me over there is Mercato. It's one of the nicest malls here, and I love it because it's not that big and you have everything you would need. You have a supermarket in there, you have some really nice F&Bs, there's even a cinema and specialty coffees, and you have H&M, and I think it has Zara. I don't remember Zara, but it has everything that you would need, and it's not very big, and it's very much for the community. So it's unlike Dubai Mall or Mall of Emirates. And these days I don't even go to Dubai Mall or Mall of Emirates to do any shopping. I do it here or I do it online. So it's very rare that I would go to a big mall. It's not my thing. But some people like it, especially in summers. You have to remain indoors and people just go to a big mall to walk around and in air-conditioned space while shopping or window shopping. But that's not me. I would rather walk out in hot weather. I would rather walk outside, I'm saying. So while I cross the street, let's look at some villas that are available right now for sale and for rent in this area. So since I'm in Jumeirah 1, I'll search Jumeirah 1. Now these are villas in Jumeirah 1 for sale. Something seems to be off because it shows only one property. So this is how Mercato looks from outside, and then this is a new hotel called Mandarin Oriental. It's an international brand, so wherever you're watching from, I think you would recognize it. Almost there. Now, when I first saw this neighborhood a long time ago, it wasn't like this, of course. So you see, you have these little scooters. Now, I don't have a membership for this, and I don't particularly like them anyway. I'll try and see if I can get a bike. This is how the buddy looks. You get a clear view of the Mercato from here. Okay, here we are. So let's search Jumeirah 1, and surprisingly in Jumeirah 1 there's only one property available for sale, and it's 45 million dirhams. And as you can see, it's a modern looking, looks like a new build, and it's about 12,000 square feet, almost 11,662 for 45 million dirhams. It has 8 bedrooms, and one thing about this area is that a majority of the villas, almost all of them inside the neighborhood and not on the islands, are freehold for GCC nationals only, and not for all nationalities. But the waterfront properties on the islands are freehold and anyone can buy. Right, so that's that. So this is Bikers Cafe. I used to come here a lot and work from here. And there was also a Turkish restaurant very close to it, and I've stopped coming there now to both of them because I'm busy on the other side of town. I'm in Q East a lot, which is a really nice up and coming lifestyle destination, and I also happen to be in charge of leasing of that space, and it is really a nice place. So you see, this is what I used to have as my dream. So that's Burj Khalifa, of course, we all know it, and this is what I had in my mind when I said a nice single-story house. This is a commercial property, but originally these were all residential villas. Now we're on the way to the beach, and this is Jumeirah 1. Now need I say more about the neighborhood? So you have this beautiful beach, and you have the jogging track, you have the cycling track on this side, and you have amazing hotels, really nice F&B, so food and beverage spots. And it's just a good vibe. And you will see that we have, how many properties do we have? So for rent, as you'll see, you have a really nice house for $500,000 for rent. And I am surprised because these are very good rates. 5,000 square feet, this looks like a compound villa for 370. Then you have a huge house for 900,000, almost $1 million a year, keep in mind. You have another one for 270,000, and this is a modern house, so it's smaller. It's about 7,000 square feet. Right, now this is the area, and as you will see, you have this property on the island, 2.4 million. It's one of the mansions, 6,300 square feet, and it's a fully furnished luxury villa, but I don't see that this has full sea views, and even with that it's 2.4 million per year. And then if you look at properties for sale, and we'll try to see properties on the same island, and you have many, and you will see that 44 million for 6,620 square feet. Then you have another one that is 12,000 square feet Right now this one has Burj views, so it has beach and Burj views. So you have 350 million, but that's a huge house, almost 27,000 square feet, and a 500 million one. Right now this is premium, right? This is Asora Bay. It's a beautiful little island on the island. It's beautiful houses, and you can see they're very expensive. And then 500 million, majority of them are 500 million, 350, but look at the sizes, they're also really good. And then if you look at properties for sale on this side, then you have this is Al Bada. You have 7.5 million, small 2,000 square feet house.